first met her in August 2017 with Sylvia. Yeah. At her bungalow, Melbourne, Cox Farm Road, Billericay. My intention was to record her memories, etc. of her circus life. But I was carried away with her enthusiasm and stories, and I forgot to switch on the recorder. So it was a matter of coming back week after week, for nearly 2 years actually, listening to more of her stories, which always included her famous horses, Goldie. Joan's grandparents owned Circus Rosaire, and it was on her way to another venue when Joan was born in 1933. And it was around this time that her grandparents purchased a farm in Cox Farm Road for their winter quarters. This resulted in the circus first performing at the start of the circus season at Sun Corner, as we know, just up the road. Joan has therefore lived in Billericay area all her life, except when she was on tour. I'd never been to a circus myself, so I felt there was a need for me to go to one and experience the atmosphere. As it turned out, Circus Wonderland was at Sun Corner, within months of me first meeting Joan. I went along to get tickets for my grandchildren and myself. I did ask Joan if she wanted to come along, but she always maintained, I don't like circuses without animals. Before leaving the ticket office, I asked whether they knew Joan. A head popped out of the side office, introduced himself as Paul, the circus clown and director of the circus. He said he knew her very well and that she was very famous and a lovely lady. Mentioning that Joan, she really only preferred circuses and animals. I don't know where he said that. A few months later went by, and I went with my grandson, who was over from France, to see Circus Sanctus, who were performing at Santa's farm, Bowers Gifford. Anybody don't know that, didn't you? Coming here for the last 20 plus years. I wasn't aware of that. While walking around the site, I approached a man in a dress suit who looked rather important. It turned out to be Ernest Santos, the ringmaster. On asking him whether he knew Joan, his reply was, a wonderful lady, and that he had had the honour on occasions, when as a young man, to help Joan in the ring with her horses when she was performing for his circus. In April 2019, Joan and I were invited to Zippo Circus at Plaque to celebrate the celebration of Norman Barrett's 21 years with Zippo Circus as ringmaster and performer. We were shown into a buffet area, and for the next half an hour or so, numerous old friends came up and gave Joan a good hug. And who sat with her all through this? Tom Roberts. Though I never saw Joan before with her wonderful Goldie horses, I feel it was a great privilege to have known her, even if it was only for a short time. I therefore believe you will agree that Joan falls within the criteria set by the Women's Commemoration Committee of inspirational women. I would now like to pass over to Tom to say a few words before going outside to unveil the plaque. And with thanks again for the light refreshments provided by Billericay.
Good morning, everybody. Looking around, I can see a number of family friends, but also some of you I have not met before. So just a few words about myself and my connection with Joan Rosaire. I was born and grew up on Robert Brothers Circus, where I come to specialise in training and presenting horses. From 1996 to 2010, I trained and presented the horses on Zippo Circus. And now I no longer work in the circus, but I run a business providing seats for arenas and outdoor events. With our circus background and the love of horses, Joan and I become good friends, which strengthened when I was with Zippo Circus, a show which Joan would visit regular. We remained good friends after I retired. Joan was born in 1933 in a circus wagon on the road between Hay-on-Wye and Targarth. Her parents were Joan Rosaire and Ted Bunning, who grew up surrounded by her aunties and uncles on Circus Rosaire, which run by Joan's grandparents. Joan performed on the trapeze, worked with horses and ponies, and as a ballerina on horseback, until a riding accident when she was 18 ended that part of her career. When her uncle, Derek, left the family show to forge his own career with a horse, Tony, Joan took over the presentation of the show's trick horse, Betsy. From Joan developed her own knack with her horse, Goldie. There were a number of Goldies over Joan's long career. This star quality meant Joan worked for many of the leading circuses within Great Britain, including Blackpool Tower Circus, Billy Smart's, Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, Chipfield and the Hippodrome Circus in Great Yarmouth, where she also presented animals for the Robert Brothers Circus. Joan and Goldie also worked many of the top variety entertainers, including Max Bygrave, Bruce Forsyth, Paul Daniels, and the legendary Ken Dodd, where she worked a 16-week summer season in Liverpool. She also featured in the Horse of the Year show at Wembley and the Royal International Horse Show at Olympia. Joan became one of the most sought-after acts on the gala circuit. At one point in 1972-73, Joan had horses appearing simultaneously in 3 of West End shows. She provided a horse in a spectacular sequence in the musical Gone with the Wind at Drury Lane. At the same time, she had horses working in pantomime at the London Palladium with Edward Woodward, and a variety at the Victoria Palace with Max Bygraves. Joan had talent and skills to become a top dressage rider or a show jumper, but she remained loyal to the circus and her beloved horses. I'm very grateful that she did, as in 2007, when I was working with Zippo Circus, I was asked to train and present my own trick horse routine. Many animal trainers are reluctant to pass the tricks of the trade to others, but Joan was more than happy to help me train my own one horse. My version of this routine was a poor imitation of Joan's spectacular performance, but she will always be grateful. I will always be grateful for her help and guidance. She really was in a class of her own. Before finishing today, I must thank Basildon Borough Heritage Society for deciding to commemorate Joan's life with this plaque and for arranging the ceremony today. I would also like to thank Ken Porter, who's not only collaborated with Joan in writing the book about her fantastic life, but recommended Joan for her to be in the Heritage Society. It's an honour I'm sure Joan would be proud of, definitely, and it is one that she would be really deserved. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Right, I think we've been near enough stopped. If we can just go outside before we can come back in here.
She was looking on down
That's it.